It is now in order to consider Amendment Number 5, printed in House Report 113-361. For what purpose does the gentleman from Virginia seek recognition?
Madam Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk.
The clerk will designate the amendment.
Amendment number 5, printed in House Report number 113-361, offered by Mr. Rigell of Virginia.
Pursuant to House Resolution 487, the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Rigell, and a member opposed, each will control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Virginia.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. And I'd like to thank my fellow Virginian, Chairman Goodlatte, for his leadership on the underlying bill. I also want to thank Mr. Graves, Chairman of the House Committee on Small Business, for working with me and my staff on advancing my amendment. I think my amendment is noteworthy first for its brevity. It's only 14 words long in total, yet it packs a powerful and much-needed punch because it is a central issue to job creation, which is a shared value and shared objective in this House, and that is increasing access to credit, and in some cases not prohibiting access to credit. Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairman, this is not a theoretical issue for me. I've been a businessman for 30 years, an entrepreneur for about 23 years, and I know the great joy of looking into an applicant, their eyes, and a fellow American, and saying these incredible words, "You're hired." Those are life-changing words, and one of the reasons that I could say those words to those who hired or applied at our company was because a local lender, a small local bank, was able to lend me the money I needed to start my business and to grow my business. Yet those very same small lenders, those small banks in Virginia's 2nd Congressional District, Madam Chair, they are reeling. They are reeling from waves of new regulations, nearly all of which are overly burdensome, and so many of which are not needed at all. They should never have been written. And the result is that some banks are hiring, but they're not hiring loan officers, they're hiring compliance officers. From my own experience, Madam Chairman, and my own deliberate and intentional listening to the small businesses and lenders in Virginia's 2nd Congressional District, I've come to a conclusion which is clear, it's irrefutable in my mind, and it's deeply troubling. And that is that the actions of this body collectively in the administration has made it more difficult, not easier, but more difficult for small businesses to get the credit that they need to grow their business and to hire more people. Now, this cannot be reconciled with the words that President Obama shared in this very chamber in his State of the Union speech in 2012. It was a that should have been the basis for common ground. He noted correctly that most new jobs were created in businesses like my own, a startup and a small business. And he said this: let's pass an agenda that helps small businesses succeed. These are his words: tear down regulations that prevent aspiring entrepreneurs from getting the financing to grow. Well, House Resolution 2804 does just that. It is a significant and meaningful step forward in that area. And that's why I've come to the House floor this evening. And what a privilege it is to be here, to be a strong voice for the hardworking men and women across this country who are laboring under an increasing level of burden from the federal government, one that should get out of the way, yet it continues to put roadblock after roadblock after roadblock in the way of people and hardworking Americans who are trying to create a job. They have mortgages on their homes. They've signed these loans personally. I understand the burden and the challenges that are faced by small business owners. It's one reason I sought this office, was to be as strong a voice as I could for those who, if you unleashed them, they're the most powerful job-creating engine the world's ever known. Small business owners in America. That's what House Resolution 2804 does, and I think my amendment strengthens that, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak in favor of this. I ask my colleagues for their careful consideration of my amendment because I think in doing so, they'll vote in the affirmative. I urge my colleagues to vote in favor of 2804 and for my amendment. I thank the chair, and I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Virginia reserves the balance of his time.